10 habits that changed my life in 1 week. It might seem unbelievable, but these are genuine habits I added to my routine. Through various experiences, the transformation was remarkable. I'm eager to share these because they had a big impact on my life, and I believe they can do the same for you. Whether you want to boost productivity, improve mental health, or make positive daily changes, these habits can help. So grab a drink, get comfortable, and let's dive in. Stay until the end, because these habits are practical steps you can start using today. Plus, I'll share personal stories and insights from my journey to show how these habits transformed my life. Let's get started. Habit 1: limiting screen time. In a world where screens are always with us, it's easy to lose touch with reality. But what if I told you that limiting screen time could improve your life, mental health, and bring new joys? Limiting screen time was tough for me, and it might be for you too. We live in a digital age, and it's easy to spend hours scrolling through social media, watching shows, or checking emails. However, I realized this was harming my mental health, productivity, and sleep, so I set some boundaries. First, I limited my non-work screen time to 1 hour daily. This meant no mindless scrolling on Instagram, no endless YouTube marathons, and no late-night TV binges. At first, it was hard. I was used to filling every spare moment with screen time, but I knew I needed a change. By reducing my screen use, I discovered how much more time I had. I didn't realize how much time screens consumed until I limited them. With extra hours, I rediscovered old hobbies and interests. I picked up a book one had meant to read, started doodling and drawing again, and tried new recipes. These activities not only filled my time, but also brought a sense of fulfillment and joy that screens never did. One evening, instead of watching TV, I took a walk in the park. The fresh air, nature sounds, and simple act of moving felt rejuvenating, a stark contrast to screen-induced lethargy. That walk became a cherished part of my daily routine, something I looked forward to and enjoyed immensely. As Marcus Aurelius once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." By stepping away from screens and immersing myself in nature, my thoughts became clearer and more positive, enhancing my well-being. Another significant change was my sleep quality. I used to take my phone to bed, scrolling through social media or watching videos until I felt sleepy. This habit left me wired and restless, leading to poor sleep. By limiting screen time, especially before bed, I found it easier to wind down and fall asleep. I started a bedtime routine without screens, reading a book, meditating, or reflecting on my day. This led to deeper, more restful sleep and improved my overall energy levels. By craving less screen time, I enriched my sleep and life. I noticed improvements in my mental health too. Without constant news updates, social media comparisons, and digital distractions, I felt less anxious and more present. I was more focused during conversations, more attentive to people around me, and more engaged in daily activities. It was like a fog lifted, allowing me to see and experience life more clearly. As the saying goes, "Be where you are, otherwise you will miss your life." Limiting screen time allowed me to be truly present, enhancing my connections with others and my appreciation for each moment. One memorable day, I spent an entire afternoon at a local cafe with just a notebook and pen. I wrote down my thoughts, planned goals, and sketched a bit. It was a peaceful and productive time, free from digital interruptions. I felt more connected to myself and my surroundings in a way screens never allowed. This experience reminded me that true happiness comes from within, not from external distractions. Of course, there were moments of temptation and slips along the way, but each time I reached for my phone out of habit, I gently reminded myself of the benefits I was experiencing and redirected my focus to something more fulfilling. Limiting screen time isn't about completely eliminating technology, it's about creating a healthier balance and being more intentional with your time. If you're feeling overwhelmed or disconnected, try setting screen time boundaries. Start small, maybe an hour less each day, and gradually increase it. Use that extra time to reconnect with yourself, loved ones, and the world around you. By limiting screen time, you'll reclaim precious hours, enhance your mental health, improve your sleep, and rediscover the joys of life beyond the digital realm. Let go of the constant need for digital stimulation and embrace life's simplicity and richness. Your mind, body, and soul will thank you. Habit 2. Practicing gratitude. One habit that truly transformed my life was practicing gratitude. It might sound a bit cliché, but hear me out. I used to focus too much on what I didn't have rather than appreciating what I did. This constant sense of lack left me feeling perpetually unsatisfied and restless. However, when I made the conscious decision to actively practice gratitude for just 1 week, the shift in my mindset was astonishing. I started by keeping a gratitude journal. Every morning I would jot down 3 things I was thankful for. Initially it felt forced, and I found it challenging to think of different things each day. But as the days went by, I began to notice more reasons to be grateful: the aroma of fresh coffee, the warmth of the sun on my face, a kind word from a colleague. These small yet significant moments began to fill both my journal and my heart. One morning, I vividly recall writing about the unwavering support of my friends and family. Reflecting on the love and encouragement they provided, I felt a deep sense of connection and appreciation. This simple practice of acknowledging the good in my life had a profound ripple effect. I started to see positive changes in my relationships. By expressing gratitude, I became more aware of the efforts others made to improve my life, and I began to reciprocate more openly. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, once said, "Dwell on the beauty of life, watch the stars, and see yourself running with them." This quote resonated deeply with me, as I realized that practicing gratitude is not just about writing it down, but also expressing it. I made it a point to thank people more often, whether it was the barista making my coffee, my coworker for their help, or my family members for their unwavering support. One memorable moment was when I thanked a friend for always being there for me. The look of surprise and happiness on their face was priceless, and it significantly strengthened our bond. Another significant change was how gratitude altered my overall outlook on life. I became more optimistic and less prone to negativity. Even on the most challenging days, I could find something to be grateful for, which helped me maintain a balanced perspective. For instance, one evening after a particularly tough day at work, I took a moment to reflect on the lessons I learned and the resilience I developed through the experience. This shift from a victim mindset to a growth mindset was incredibly empowering. Practicing gratitude also had a profound impact on my mental health. It reduced my stress levels and made me more resilient in the face of difficulties. Focusing on the positives, no matter how small, created a buffer against the daily stresses of life. I found myself more at peace, more content, and more in tune with the present moment. Think about this: how often do we overlook the simple joys in our lives because we are too busy chasing what we think will make us happy? As Seneca wisely said, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. This wisdom became clear to me as I continued my gratitude practice. If you want to try practicing gratitude, start with a simple daily routine. Each morning or evening, write down 3 things you are grateful for. They don't have to be grand or significant sometimes. The smallest things make the biggest difference. Over time, you'll notice a shift in your mindset and an increase in your overall happiness. Can you imagine how different your life could be if you started focusing on what you have rather than what you lack? What are 3 things you're grateful for today? Feel free to share them in the comments below. By doing so, you're not only reinforcing your own gratitude, but also inspiring others to look for the good in their lives. Remember, gratitude is a powerful tool that can transform your life from the inside out. So why not give it a try and see the positive changes it can bring? Habit 3: daily exercise. I'll be honest, I wasn't always into fitness. Like many, I had a list of excuses. I'm too tired, I don't have time, or I'll start tomorrow. Sound familiar? One day I decided to stop making excuses and committed to moving my body every day for a week. What happened next was amazing. I started with just 20 minutes a day, alternating between yoga, jogging, and strength training. Initially, it was tough. My muscles were sore and I felt exhausted, but I reminded myself of my goal to feel better both physically and mentally. By the fourth day, I noticed a remarkable change. I woke up feeling more energized, my mood had improved, and I was less irritable and more positive. Those 20 minutes of exercise were doing more than burning calories. They were helping me focus on myself, release stress, and boost my endorphins. One crisp morning, I laced up my sneakers and went for a jog. As I ran, I felt an incredible sense of freedom and clarity. It was just me, the open road, and my thoughts, a moment of connection to myself and the world around me that was truly empowering. Physically, my posture improved, I felt stronger, and my overall fitness noticeably increased. But the most profound change was in my mindset. Exercise transitioned from being a chore to a cherished form of self-care. Trying yoga for the first time was another highlight. Initially, I was skeptical, thinking I wasn't flexible enough, or that it wouldn't provide a real workout. However, after a few sessions, I fell in love with it. Yoga taught me to be present, breathe deeply, and listen to my body. The experience was transformative, extending beyond physical benefits to foster a deeper sense of mindfulness and inner peace. As Marcus Aurelius once said, the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. This quote resonated with my journey as every challenge in exercising became a step toward personal growth. Incorporating daily exercise into my routine underscored a crucial realization: taking care of my body directly influenced my mental health and overall happiness. It wasn't about being perfect or pushing myself to extremes. It was about finding a form of movement I enjoyed and making it a consistent part of my life. To those struggling to start, my advice is simple: start small. Find an activity you love, whether it's dancing, hiking, or just a brisk walk. Commit to a few minutes a day and gradually increase the time. Trust me, the benefits you'll reap will be well worth the effort. Have you experienced a similar transformation through exercise? How did it impact your life? Engaging with these questions helps us understand the profound effects of such habits on our well-being. The habit of daily exercise can transform not only your body but your entire outlook on life, just as it did for me. Remember the words of Seneca: we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Often the barriers we perceive are merely in our minds, and overcoming them starts with a single small step. So let's reflect together. What's one small step you can take today to start moving your body more? Share your thoughts and experiences. By sharing, we learn and grow together. If you've watched up to this point, you're already on the path to transforming your life with these powerful habits. Comment below with Stoic Master to affirm your commitment to embracing these life-changing lessons. Stay until the end to uncover more secrets that will elevate your life. Habit 4: Mindful Eating. Mindful eating, inspired by the Stoic philosophy of living with intention and awareness, reshaped not only how I eat but also how I connect with my body and emotions. Let's reflect on a timeless piece of wisdom from Epictetus. We should always be asking ourselves, is this something that is or is not in my control? This quote resonates deeply with mindful eating, where we take control of our eating habits by being fully present and conscious of our food choices and eating behaviors. Like many, I used to eat on the go, often distracted by my phone or laptop, barely registering what or how much I was consuming. Meals were rushed, mindless affairs that left me feeling unsatisfied and often overstuffed. This all changed when I committed to a week of mindful eating, a practice that involves paying full attention to the experience of eating and drinking, both inside and outside the body. It's about savoring each bite, noticing the flavors, textures, and even the sounds of your food, and tuning into your body's hunger and fullness cues. I created a peaceful environment for my meals. I cleared my dining table, set a nice place for myself, and removed all distractions: no phone, no TV, no laptop. At first, it felt strange to sit quietly with my meal, but it quickly became a calming and enjoyable ritual. I began each meal with a few deep breaths to center myself and bring my focus to the present moment. One of the first things I noticed was how much more I enjoyed my food. Foods I had eaten countless times before suddenly had new, delightful flavors and textures that I had never really noticed. For example, the crunch of fresh vegetables and the sweetness of ripe fruit became much more pronounced, as if I was experiencing food in high definition. Eating slowly and mindfully also allowed me to recognize my body's signals of fullness, which led to a major shift in my eating habits. By giving my body time to signal when it was full, I naturally ate less and felt more satisfied. This was a stark contrast to my previous habit of eating quickly and often overeating. One memorable experience was with a simple bowl of oatmeal. Normally, I would wolf it down without a second thought, but this time I took it slow, savoring the creamy texture and the subtle sweetness of the honey I drizzled on top. It became a moment of gratitude and mindfulness that set a positive tone for the rest of my day. I also started to notice how different foods made me feel. Heavy, processed food left me feeling sluggish and bloated, while fresh, whole foods made me feel energized and light. This newfound awareness led me to make healthier choices naturally, without feeling deprived or restricted. Another important aspect of mindful eating is being aware of the emotional connections we have with food. I started to recognize when I was eating out of boredom, stress, or emotional comfort rather than true hunger. This awareness was powerful. Instead of mindlessly snacking, I could address the underlying emotion. Maybe I needed a break, some relaxation, or a chat with a friend rather than a bag of chips. One particular evening, I had a craving for something sweet after dinner. Instead of automatically reaching for dessert, I paused and asked myself if I was truly hungry or just seeking a reward after a long day. I realized I wasn't actually hungry and opted for a warm cup of herbal tea instead. It was a small victory that highlighted how powerful mindful eating can be. Incorporating mindful eating into my life was a transformative experience. It helped me develop a healthier relationship with food, improved my digestion, and enhanced my overall sense of well-being. It's a habit that I've continued beyond that initial week, and I can't recommend it enough. If you're interested in trying mindful eating, start with just one meal a day. Sit down without distractions, take a few deep breaths, and savor each bite. Pay attention to the flavors, textures, and how the food makes you feel. You might be surprised at how this simple practice can change your entire eating experience. It's a wonderful way to reconnect with your body and truly appreciate the nourishment that food provides. Habit 6: waking up early. I was never a morning person. My bed was my sanctuary, and the snooze button was my best friend. Mornings were always a chaotic rush, and I often felt like I was starting my day on the wrong foot. But then I decided to give waking up early a shot, and it was a complete game changer. I started by setting my alarm for 5 a.m. The first few days were brutal. I remember dragging myself out of bed, feeling groggy and questioning if this was worth it. But I pushed through, and by the third day, something incredible happened. I started to appreciate the quiet and stillness of the early morning hours. There was something almost magical about being up before the rest of the world when everything was calm and peaceful. With these extra hours in the morning, I found time for things I never seemed to have time for before. I began my day with light exercise, nothing too intense, just some stretching or a short jog around the neighborhood. This not only woke me up but also energized me for the rest of the day. I also spent some time meditating and setting my intentions for the day. These few moments of mindfulness made a huge difference in my overall mindset and productivity. Another surprising benefit of waking up early was that I no longer felt rushed. I had ample time to enjoy a healthy breakfast, sip my coffee slowly, and plan out my day. This unrushed start set a positive tone for the entire day. I was more organized, less stressed, and felt a greater sense of control over my time. One personal experience that stands out is the morning I watched the sunrise from my balcony. It was a simple yet profoundly beautiful moment. As the sky changed colors and the world slowly woke up, I felt a deep sense of gratitude and peace. It was in that moment that I truly understood the power of waking up early. Now, waking up early might not be for everyone, but I encourage you to give it a try, even if it's just for a week. Start with just 15 minutes earlier than your usual wake-up time and gradually increase it. You might be surprised at how much of a positive impact it can have on your life. It's not just about having more hours in the day, but about using those hours to create a more mindful, intentional, and fulfilling start to your day. Think about how you currently start your day. Is it rushed and chaotic, leaving you feeling stressed and unprepared? Or do you have a routine that sets a positive tone for the day ahead? By waking up early, you give yourself the gift of time to focus on your well-being, set your intentions, and start your day with a sense of calm and purpose. Imagine how different your days could be if you started them feeling energized, organized, and in control. So why not give it a try? Set your alarm a little earlier, even if it's just by 15 minutes. Use that time to do something positive for yourself, whether it's exercising, meditating, or simply enjoying a quiet cup of coffee. You may find that those extra minutes in the morning become the most valuable part of your day. Remember, it's not about being perfect or waking up at the crack of dawn. It's about finding what works for you and creating a routine that enhances your life. As you experiment with waking up early, pay attention to how it makes you feel. Do you notice a difference in your energy levels, mood, or productivity? Share your experiences and thoughts in the comments below. Let's create a community of support and encouragement as we explore the benefits of waking up early together. Habit 7: Journaling. Initially, I thought journaling was for people with lots of free time or those who were naturally introspective. I was skeptical. Who has time to write about their day when there's so much happening? But after just 1 week of consistent journaling, my perspective shifted, and it became a cornerstone of my personal growth journey. Every night before bed, I set aside just 10 minutes to journal. I bought a simple notebook and a comfortable pen. No fancy apps or pressure to make it look perfect, just me and my thoughts. The first night I stared at the blank page, unsure of what to write. I started with the basics: how my day went, what made me happy, and what I struggled with. As the days went by, I dove deeper, writing about my goals, fears, dreams, and insecurities. It felt like having a conversation with myself, and that's when the magic happened. I started noticing patterns in my thoughts and behaviors. I realized some worries were out of my control, while others were areas where I could take action. For example, one night I wrote about a stressful day at work. By putting my thoughts on paper, I processed my emotions better. I detailed what stressed me out, how it made me feel, and what I could do differently next time. This simple act of reflection brought clarity and control over my emotions. Another powerful aspect was tracking my progress. I noted down small victories and milestones, no matter how minor they seemed. Looking back at these entries filled me with a sense of accomplishment and motivated me to keep pushing forward. For instance, I wrote about a presentation I was nervous about and how I prepared for it. Seeing my preparation process and the positive outcome documented in my journal was incredibly encouraging. I also started a gratitude section. Every day, I wrote down 3 things I was grateful for. This practice shifted my focus from what was lacking in my life to appreciating what I already had. It was a simple yet profound shift that brought more positivity into my daily life. One particularly memorable entry was about a random act of kindness a stranger helped me with my grocery bags. Writing about this act of kindness not only made me feel grateful but also inspired me to pay it forward. Through journaling, I discovered a lot about myself, my desires, fears, strengths, and weaknesses. It became a form of therapy, a way to untangle the complex web of thoughts and emotions we all carry around. It provided a safe space where I could be completely honest with myself without fear of judgment. Consider a modern story. A friend of mine, overwhelmed by work and life, started journaling on my suggestion. Within a week, she noticed significant changes. She could articulate her stressors better and found herself dealing with them more effectively. She also tracked her progress and celebrated small wins, which kept her motivated. One day, she wrote about how a tough meeting went smoother than expected because she prepared well, and this boosted her confidence. If you've never tried journaling, I highly encourage you to start. Don't worry about writing perfectly or having profound thoughts. Just write whatever comes to mind. It could be a stream of consciousness, a recap of your day, or reflections on a specific event. Give yourself the freedom to express whatever you're feeling. You might be surprised at how much clarity and peace it brings into your life. Remember, it's not about what you write, it's about the process of writing itself. Habit 8. Read a book. The 8th habit that profoundly changed my life was incorporating daily reading into my routine. It might sound simple, but reading for even a short period each day can be transformative. I always loved the idea of reading more but struggled to find the time. However, once I committed to it, the benefits were undeniable. Reading is not just about consuming information, it's about expanding your mind, gaining new perspectives, and stimulating your imagination. I started by setting aside just 20 minutes each day to read, usually in the morning with my coffee or before bed. This small commitment quickly turned into a cherished part of my day. One of the first books I read during this week was Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. This classic work of Stoic philosophy provided profound insights into life, duty, and personal growth. Each passage was like a piece of wisdom that I could apply to my daily life. For example, one entry emphasized the importance of living in accordance with nature and accepting what comes our way with grace. This teaching helped me navigate my day with a more balanced and resilient mindset. Another book that had a significant impact on me was Atomic Habits by James Clear. It provided practical strategies for building good habits and breaking bad ones. The concept of tiny incremental changes leading to significant results resonated deeply with me. It reinforced the idea that even small daily reading sessions could accumulate into a wealth of knowledge and personal growth over time. One memorable experience was reading a novel that I had been meaning to get to for years, To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. The rich storytelling, complex characters, and exploration of social issues captivated me. It reminded me of the power of fiction to not only entertain but also to evoke empathy and understanding. I found myself looking forward to these reading sessions as a time to unwind and escape into another world. Reading daily also had unexpected benefits for my mental health. It provided a break from the constant stream of digital information and a chance to relax and focus on one thing. This practice improved my concentration and reduced my stress levels. I felt more grounded and centered, which carried over into other areas of my life. For those of you who want to start incorporating reading into your routine, my advice is simple: start small. Choose a book that genuinely interests you and commit to reading just a few pages each day. It doesn't have to be a lengthy or difficult book. The key is consistency and making it a habit. If you're not sure where to start, consider reading something that aligns with your current interests or goals, whether it's a self-help book, a classic novel, or even a collection of short stories. The important thing is to enjoy the process. You might be surprised at how quickly those few pages each day turn into a significant amount of reading over time. To foster a community of readers, I'd love to hear about your favorite books. What book has had the most impact on your life? How did it change your perspective or inspire you? Share your recommendations in the comments below. By sharing, we can inspire each other to explore new genres and discover new favorite authors. Remember, the habit of reading daily is a gift to yourself. It's an investment in your mind, your well-being, and your future. So pick up that book, find a cozy spot, and dive in. Happy reading. Habit 9. Setting daily intentions. One habit that fundamentally transformed my life was setting daily intentions. Instead of drifting through my days on autopilot, I chose to be more deliberate about how I invested my time and energy. This shift helped me stay focused, motivated, and aligned with my larger goals. Each morning, I would take a few moments to set an intention for the day. Not as a to-do list, but as a guiding principle for how I wanted to approach my day. For instance, I might decide today I will practice patience, I will focus on gratitude, or I will be present in all my interactions. This practice allowed me to start my day with a clear and positive mindset. One memorable morning, I set the intention to practice kindness. Throughout the day, I actively sought opportunities to be kind to others, whether through offering a compliment, helping a colleague, or simply smiling at strangers. This intention not only made my day more fulfilling, but also had a positive impact on those around me. By the end of the day, I felt a deep sense of connection and joy. This experience reminded me of a quote by Marcus Aurelius: "Kindness is invincible, but only when it's sincere with no hypocrisy or faking." Setting daily intentions also kept me focused on my long-term goals. For instance, if my goal was to improve my fitness, I would set an intention like, "I will prioritize my health today." This intention guided my choices and actions, making it easier to stick to my fitness routine. One day I felt particularly unmotivated to exercise, but my intention for the day reminded me of my commitment to my health, and I ended up having a great workout. This brings to mind the words of Epictetus: "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." Another significant change was how setting intentions affected my productivity. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by a long list of tasks, I focused on one intention at a time. This approach made my day feel more manageable and less stressful. On one particularly busy day, I set the intention to stay calm and focused. This intention helped me navigate through my tasks with a clear mind and a sense of purpose. Seneca once said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." If you're interested in trying out setting daily intentions, start by taking a few moments each morning to reflect on what you want to focus on for the day. Choose an intention that resonates with you and aligns with your goals and values. Write it down or say it out loud to reinforce it. Throughout the day, remind yourself of your intention and let it guide your actions and choices. This simple practice can help you live more intentionally and create a more meaningful and fulfilling life. What intention will you set today? How do you think this practice could impact your daily life and long-term goals? Remember, as Epictetus advised, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. The fewer wants you have, the more intentional and serene your life will become. Living intentionally through daily intentions can indeed be transformative. When we're clear about our intentions, our days are filled with purpose, and our actions align more closely with our true selves. For example, if you set an intention to be more mindful, you might find yourself appreciating the small moments throughout your day: the taste of your morning coffee, the sound of birds outside your window, or the feeling of the sun on your face. This heightened awareness can lead to a greater sense of gratitude and contentment. As the philosopher Epictetus reminds us, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. This practice of setting intentions is deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy, which emphasizes the importance of living in accordance with nature and reason. By setting intentions, we align ourselves with our true nature and cultivate a life of virtue and wisdom. The Stoics believe that our thoughts and attitudes shape our experiences. As Marcus Aurelius put it, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. In conclusion, setting daily intentions is a powerful habit that can transform your life in profound ways. It helps you stay focused, motivated, and aligned with your goals, improves your productivity and well-being, and enhances your relationships and overall sense of purpose. So as you embark on this practice, ask yourself, what intention will I set today? How can I align my actions with this intention to create a more meaningful and fulfilling life? Remember, the power to shape your life lies in your hands. Make each day count by living with intention and purpose. Habit 10: Decluttering and organizing. The 10th habit that had a profound impact on my life was decluttering and organizing my living space. I used to live in a cluttered environment with stuff everywhere, drawers overflowing, closets packed, and surfaces covered with items I barely used. It was overwhelming and contributed to a constant state of stress. Deciding to declutter for a week was one of the best decisions I made. I started with one area at a time. The first day I tackled my closet. I took everything out and only put back what I truly needed and loved. The rest, I either donated or discarded. The process was liberating. I felt a sense of accomplishment and relief as I let go of items that no longer served a purpose in my life. One memorable experience was sorting through old papers and documents. I found receipts from years ago, expired warranties, and notes from long-forgotten projects. As I shredded and recycled these papers, I felt like I was also clearing out mental clutter. My mind felt lighter, and I gained a sense of clarity and focus. Another significant change was how decluttering impacted my daily routine. With less stuff around, it was easier to keep things tidy and organized. I no longer spent time looking for misplaced items or feeling overwhelmed by the mess. My mornings became smoother and my evenings more relaxing. One evening, I remember sitting in my decluttered living room, feeling a deep sense of peace and contentment. The clear, organized space around me mirrored the calmness I felt inside. Decluttering also had an unexpected effect on my consumption habits. I became more mindful of what I brought into my home. Before making a purchase, I would ask myself if I truly needed the item and if it would add value to my life. This shift not only saved me money but also reduced the cycle of clutter building up again. An important aspect of decluttering is maintaining the organized space. I developed a habit of spending a few minutes each day tidying up and putting things back in their place. This small daily effort prevented the clutter from creeping back and kept my space serene and functional. If you're feeling overwhelmed by your living space, I encourage you to try decluttering. Start small. Pick one drawer, one shelf, or one corner. Set a timer for 15 minutes and see how much you can accomplish. The key is to be consistent and not get discouraged by the initial mess. The benefits of a clear, organized space are immense, from reduced stress to increased productivity and overall well-being. In conclusion, I hope you found the 10 habits that changed my life in just 1 week to be insightful and inspiring. From limiting screen time and practicing gratitude to daily exercise and mindful eating, these habits have the power to transform your life for the better, just as they did for me. Each habit is rooted in Stoic philosophy and emphasizes the importance of intentional living and personal growth. Now, I encourage you to take these principles and apply them to your own life. Start small, be consistent, and observe the positive changes unfold. Remember, the journey to personal growth and happiness begins with one small step. Before you go, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Which habit resonates the most with you? How do you plan to incorporate it into your daily routine? Share your experiences and insights in the comments below. Your stories can inspire others in our community to embark on their own transformative journeys.